Hey guys, it's ThinkChick here, welcome back to another video, and we have addressed many aspects of Chapter 4 in previous videos on this channel. However, one aspect of Chapter 4 that we have never really gone over is the difficulty. As we do know, Chapter 4 will be much harder than previous chapters, but how much harder? Well, for starters, let's go over the enemy's mechanics, obviously starting with Torment Therapy. Now, the Reaper Nurses are faster than your speed boost. This will make it incredibly hard to outrun them. You will need to have your stun charged or you're screwed. You might be able to get away with teleport, but even that's unlikely, as when you're speed boosting they are still faster than you. They can also throw pills to stun you, so not only are they catching up with you drastically fast, even though you're speed boosting because you can't get away and your stun is not charged, they can then stun you. Now, as much as they will stop, like the Dread Duckies do, this still sounds like it's going to be incredibly hard, and we're going to spend a long time spamming F. And finally, they can turn invisible. Now, personally, I feel like this is just too much. This is just, like, a lot. This is, crazy. This sounds like it will be very hard, but, like, as you can see from this video that I'm going to show on screen now, you can see them a bit when they're invisible, but, like, that just, with the speed and the stun, like, that's going to be very hard, guys. Next, we move on to the Joy gang. First, we have Lucky. Lucky is slower than you. He's a pretty average speed. However, he has a speed boost that I'm pretty sure Vince has said, but don't quote me on it, that it activates at any point randomly. And when he is speed boosting, he is much faster than you, maybe even faster than the Reaper Nurses. Now we have Penny. She can fly. Now apparently it's not like proper flying, but she can fly. Now that does sound like it's going to be very hard, especially in Zone 1. I imagine that's the key area where it will be used, like her flying over the castle walls and stuff. And I assume she'll be a lot faster when she's flying, and she can throw an egg to stun you. And finally we have Hangry. We don't really know much of his abilities except for the fact that he can smash doors. Now there may be more abilities that we don't know of yet, but already this sounds very hard. And not only that, we know that every member of the Joy gang have clones, and we know that there are tons of them, but what we don't know is will they actually be active in level? Well, Vince has confirmed that Zone 1 of Mascot Mayhem is the biggest zone in the game so far. And 3 enemies? There are 3 Gold Watchers in the Hedge Maze. The Hedge Maze is one of the smallest zones so far. There is no way that there are only 3 enemies in this giant zone, which strongly suggests that many, if not all, of the clones will be active, which means that this theme park could be absolutely swarming with Joy gang clones, and it does sound like it might be quite hard to get away from them. Now we move on to Barely Buried. Now, we don't know any abilities about Mama Bear and the Trigger Teddies. All the abilities that we know are kind of more speculation and guessing. We do have audio from Mama Bear's voice reveal of what sounds like Trigger Teddies crawling out of the hole in her stomach. We have images of Trigger Teddies in the hole in her stomach. This would really strongly suggest that the Trigger Teddies will come from her stomach. Now, as much as that could potentially be just at the beginning of the level, where they come out of her stomach as like a cool intro, this would most likely suggest she acts like the clown car, carrying the Trigger Teddies around the level until she gets close to you. Although this is just a guess, we don't know much about these enemies' mechanics, and we don't really know anything about the Trigger Teddies themselves. All we know is Vince has said, as much as there are more Clown Gremlins than Trigger Teddies, it is possible to have more Trigger Teddies than Clown Gremlins. Now this would suggest that Mama Bear does spawn Trigger Teddies, whereas the Clown Cars spawn 5 Clown Gremlins and then lose their life purpose and get a bit depressed and just sort of move about the map, kind of sadly. It does sound like Mama Bear won't stop spawning Trigger Teddies, as Vince had said in previous Q&As that it is possible to have absolutely tons of Trigger Teddies. So I really hope you enjoyed that video, guys, and I really hope it gave you a better idea of the difficulty of Chapter 4, as much as most of this was just analysis of the information that we have so far. And remember to subscribe, it's free and it helps out the channel a lot. Plus, if we can hit 2,000 subscribers before the release of Dark Deception Chapter 4, then one of my subscribers will have the opportunity to win Chapter 4 for free in a giveaway. All you need to do is be subscribed. So see you in the next one. Bye guys!